Today the topic is wireless earbud reviews, and I'm going to review the successors to the legendary Liberty 3 Pros, the Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro. Let's go. Soundcore is a brand that made me fall in love with wireless earbuds, offering products with an excellent quality-price relationship, similar to Soundpeats. The Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro has a tough mission: to live up to the legacy left by its predecessor, the fantastic Liberty 3 Pro, which are the best wireless earbuds in my collection, closely followed by the Soundpeats Engine 4 in terms of sound quality. After the failure that was the Liberty 4s, in my opinion of course, did the Liberty 4 finally meet expectations? Let's review it. Let's start with the specifications and preliminary analysis of the Liberty 4 Pros. Regarding the drivers, the Liberty 4 Pros are equipped with a hybrid system of two drivers, a 10.5mm dynamic driver for low frequencies and a 4.6mm titanium tweeter for higher frequencies. As we know, a dual driver setup like this always has a greater potential to deliver better sound quality than a single driver setup. The frequency reproduction range goes from 14 Hz up to 40 kHz, which means it is superior to the standard range of the human hearing spectrum, which ranges between 20 Hz and 20 kHz. As we know, there are humans who can hear beyond the extremes of this standard range, so it is always a good thing to have earbuds with an extended frequency reproduction ability. In terms of Bluetooth, they are equipped with Bluetooth 5.3, which, although it's not the latest version, it's perfectly acceptable. Regarding the codecs, they support SBC, AAC, and LDAC. SBC and AAC are the standard codecs present in almost all recent earbuds, where AAC is the superior of the two. As for high res, we have the LDAC codec, which, despite being proprietary to Sony, unlike other codecs like aptX lossless, it is open source and can be used by any device. Although it is more demanding on the battery, it is my favorite codec. The controls are squeeze-based instead of touch, and they work quite well. Besides having the advantage of avoiding accidental touch commands that occur with more traditional touch controls, they also allow volume control with up and down gestures here on the squeeze area, freeing up space for two extra commands. So in total, we have controls for one squeeze, two squeezes, three squeezes, squeeze and hold, and up and down gestures. Regarding the battery, we have 10 hours on the earbuds without ANC and 30 hours in the case. In terms of wireless earbuds, these are excellent values, with 10 hours being well above the average of 6.5 hours and 30 hours on the case being above the average of around 25 hours. The earbuds take about 2 hours to fully charge, which is normal. However, they have fast charging well above average, with 5 minutes of charging providing you with 4 hours of battery life. Charging is done via USB-C here, and they also support wireless charging. The earbuds do not have a dedicated gaming mode for low latency, although I did not miss it in the various tests I conducted. In terms of multi-point, the Liberty 4 Pro supports up to 2 devices connected at the same time, including using the LDAC codec, which is rare. However, they only support LDAC in multi-point in the best effort mode. As the maximum quality mode, there are some breaks in the Bluetooth connection. It is also worth noting that if you manually select the maximum quality mode in LDAC using the developer options in Android, when you reconnect the earbuds, they will revert back to their default mode, which is best effort. Regarding the IP protection, they are IPX5, which is above the standard, the IPX4 in recent earbuds. This means they have greater protection against water jets, and you can train with them as long as you don't immerse them or soak them in water. The Liberty 4 Pros are also equipped with in-ear detection, which means that if you remove an earbud from your ear, the music will automatically stop and will resume as soon as you put the earbud back in your ear. And now, finally, Soundcore has implemented mono mode. These are the first earbuds from the brand that I have tested that finally support mono mode, which is excellent. Better late than never, Soundcore. This means that when you are only using one earbud and listening to a stereo source with 2 channels, left and right, they are downmixed to a single mono channel and played without loss of audio information to your earbud. Without this feature, if you were only using the left earbud, for example, you would lose all the audio from the right earbud. In my opinion, this feature should be supported by any earbud. And it's not just a matter of convenience, as there are people who only hear from one ear, for example. Fortunately, the Liberty 4 Pros do not disappoint in this aspect. In addition, they also come with a barometric pressure sensor over here that is used to better optimize the ANC, especially when used on airplanes where pressure differences are more noticeable on the ears. Let's move on to the evaluation, starting with the sound quality, which is an excellent 9 out of 10. Just like its predecessors, the Liberty 3 Pros, the Liberty 4 Pros deliver an exceptional sonic experience for any type of music. The only critique I have is that the bass and treble are slightly pronounced in my opinion, but nothing major. It's a very simple correction in the app's EQ and they respond very well to EQ. When compared to the Liberty 3 Pros, whose treble was somewhat sibilant in my opinion, but also easily corrected in the EQ, the bass EQ of the Liberty 4 Pros are much more balanced. But I think both are equivalent in sound quality when properly EQ'd, with the sonic signature being distinct from the 3 Pros to the 4 Pros, like 2 different textures of 2 equally delicious dishes. Exceptional sound in both. Now let's move on to comfort, which is an 8 out of 10, meaning very good. As this is a very subjective aspect due to the individual anatomy of each person, always make sure to use the right size of ear tips for your ears. You can train and run with them, and they can even be an option for side sleeping for some people, but only by trying them will you know. Next, we have the volume, which is a 9 out of 10. Excellent, more than enough. The next aspect is battery life, which is an 8 out of 10, meaning excellent. As we have already seen, we have 10 hours on the earbuds and 30 hours in the case, both of which are above the normal values of 6.5 hours on the earbuds and around 25 hours in the case. Now let's move on to ANC, which in this case is an 8 out of 10, meaning excellent. For small ambient noises, it works very well and makes noisy environments extremely comfortable. In addition, we can use ANC with only a single earbud, which is very useful for using with transparency mode, for example, to allow us to be more aware of our surroundings, or for people who only hear from one ear. Next, we have ear tip replacements, which in this aspect they are a 9 out of 10. Excellent. Not only is the sound channel round, okay, and here the ear tip, round as well. So as I was saying, not only is the sound channel round, which makes ear tip replacement easier when compared to oval channels, as there are more round third-party ear tips on the market, but the case also easily accepts larger ear tips, which is excellent. In terms of custom EQ, it is the very good standard that Soundcore is usually known for, with a 7 out of 10, but with room for improvement, in my opinion. We have many presets and an 8-band equalizer, well distributed across the frequency range, although they are fixed bands. Unfortunately, it is not possible to adjust the sub-bass frequencies, meaning frequencies below 60 Hz. Which is a shame, especially with such good bass reproduction that these drivers allow. It is important to emphasize here that several much more expensive brands only have 4 or 6 adjustment bands, in contrast to Soundcore's 8, which allow for more precise control of the sonic signature. Still, brands like Soundpeats offer better EQ with 10 bands and sub-bass frequency control. Next, we have control usability and range, which is a 9 out of 10. Excellent. As is already customary from Soundcore. The controls are responsive and flawless, allowing us to control practically everything without the app. Regarding high-definition codecs, it is a 9 out of 10, as we have the LDAC codec present, which, for me, is the best high-definition codec at the moment. When it comes to multi-point connectivity, it is very good, with an 8 out of 10. In addition to supporting up to 2 devices simultaneously, which is the current standard, the transition between the 2 devices is instant and automatic, meaning that if the first device is playing and we start the song on the second device, the first device automatically stops when the second starts playing, with an instant transition. Finally, we can even use the LDAC codec in multi-point mode, which is excellent. Just remember that, as we already discussed, the LDAC in this mode can only be used in the best effort and not in maximum quality. But I think it's a small price to pay for this convenience, in my opinion. The low latency gaming mode is absent from the Liberty 4 Pros. Personally, I didn't notice any significant latency in the various tests I conducted, even without it. Nothing very advanced in terms of testing, just my personal perception. Either way, it is a 0 out of 10 because it doesn't have it. Now we come to control customization, which is a 9 out of 10. Excellent. as it is standard with Soundcore. The level of customization is fantastic, allowing us to customize practically everything, including 1 squeeze, 2 squeezes, 3 squeezes, and hold. In addition, as the Liberty 4 Pro uses a squeeze control instead of touch, we have 2 extra controls, sliding up and down to control the volume, which gives us 2 extra controls when compared to earbuds with conventional touch systems. Also, this squeeze system is more reliable in terms of avoiding accidental touches, okay, such as rubbing the finger in the touch sensor. The next aspect is fast charging with a 9 out of 10. With just 5 minutes, we get 4 hours of battery usage, which is excellent. Next, we have Find My Device, which is a 9 out of 10, another excellent point. The Liberty 4 Pros use Google's integrated system for device location, which saves the last known GPS location of them while they were paired with our phone or tablet or other device, and also allows us to use the warning sounds, the beeps, to locate them physically when they are close to us. Maybe they've fallen on the couch or behind a pillow. The sound is quite audible, which is very good. Next, we have in-ear detection, which is an 8 out of 10 and works very well. No complaints in this aspect. Finally, we have wireless charging. It's an 8 out of 10 as well, very good, works well without any problems, and they do have a visual indicator of the charging status. Now let's move on to the microphone of the Liberty 4 Pros, which is an exceptional 9.5 out of 10. The sound quality produced by the microphone is phenomenal, the best I have tested to date, on par with my daily drivers, the Realme Buds Air 5 Pro. The microphone works exceptionally well in various environments tested, including controlled environments, windy environments, and noisy environments with background noise. Don't forget that you can watch the video of the microphone tests in the various environments. The link is in the description. Let's move on to the final score and recommendation. In terms of listening, the final score is 8.52 with a microphone score of 9.5. 2 exceptional scores. In terms of price, the earbuds are not cheap, with their normal cost around 130 euros. Personally, I managed to buy them for 100 euros in a promotion, which greatly helps the value proposition, especially with this exceptional performance. Now let's check our earbud rankings, and it's not a surprise that the Liberty 4 Pros goes straight to first place, both in terms of sound and microphone. Now that we know the score, let's move on to the recommendation. When I evaluated the predecessors of this model, the exceptional Liberty 3 Pros, I mentioned that they were, by far, the best earbuds that Soundcore had ever produced. It is with pleasure that I can finally say that we have a new king in town, the Liberty 4 Pros. Unlike the failure that were the Liberty 4s, in my opinion of course, the Liberty 4 Pros are a worthy successor to the Liberty 3 Pros, refining practically every aspect of its predecessor while maintaining exceptional sound quality, now delivering what I consider to be the best value for money on the market by far. Solid foundations, excellent audio, exceptional microphone, excellent ANC, and a plethora of extra functionalities, very well implemented. If they only added the latest XMEMS drivers like those on the SoundPeats Capsule 3 Pro Plus that I also reviewed, link in the description, they would be practically perfect in the current market of earbuds. In summary, congratulations Soundcore, and long live the new king, the Liberty 4 Pros. And that's it. I hope this was useful to you. Please leave your feedback and share your ideas and opinions in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest videos, you can subscribe to the channel and click the like button. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.